Yesterday's conspiracy theories, tomorrow's headlines. Most are still asleep and I ain't talking about no bedtime. The truth is not a Google search, you need to get your head right. The Greek goddess of illusion was called Media and I'm not a coincidence theorist, I look for thread lines. Smashing every deadline, no longer smashing red wine. Though I can hear the bells chime, it feels like the end times. That probably should have been smashed on red wine, but the carnal mind is foolish. Obey and end up ghoulish. Don't get used by instinct, take control and learn to use it. Make a load of earnest music, earn a few quid, learn a few tricks. Sure, the truth is persecuted, this whole world is pure abusive. Know a bit about everything and everything about nothing. Figured out my noggin while you picture out shopping. You sit about watching while I dish it out, stop it. I don't mean to sound cocky, I'm not even proud of it. It's a second nature to me, just to be this out honest. I don't even need to sound honest, never been about profit. Everything but out on it, you can bet your house on it. Doubt I'll be out for the count when the sounds, and I'm down for the beat, no beat down. I mean, how long's it been? Help me out. I've been the only one who's held me down. All in the mind, hell freeze now. Still sick with it, healthy how? Few bars down and the world freaked out. I don't reach out, I seek out to speak out. I'ma recount the reasons they beat out.
Hi, greetings, listeners, family, friends, ancestors, pet animals, angels, aliens, light beings, and benevolent entities across the universe. I wholeheartedly welcome you to the 509 Divine Pines podcast, located in the majestic and blessed Pacific Northwest. I'm your host who's toasting trees, coasting and flowing like a Pacific Ocean breeze, Joseph Daniel Pena. Venture with me into the deep unknown of our conscious world that shifts at will, has invisible energies which control reality, hosts incredible technologies that transcend our understanding of life, and a whole other world of fascinating information that piques our spirit and mind. Get some fresh water in you, fresh air around you, fresh herbs to boost you, and let's get this journey going. First, a message from my sponsors. If you're looking for a better immune system, higher vitality, and more natural energy in your mind, body, and soul without the toxicity of these destructive GMOs, I have a solution for you. I've partnered with boomerboost.com to bring you a sweet 10% discount code, 509 Divine Pines 10 off, home to an all-natural supplement such as an exclusive superoxide dismutase, ancient gladiator barley seed, which the FDA listed recently as a cure for coronary heart disease and control for cholesterol and protector of liver. A premium 70 nutrient blend, probiotics, lignans, olive leaf extract, resveratrol, vitamin B, vitamin D3, vitamin C, plus magnesium, omega-3, ashwagandha root, turmeric plus biopurine, collagen, magnesium plus zeolite, hydrolyte, good night formulas for sleep, brain clarity formulas for thinking, and digestive enzyme complexes for your healthy gut. I've been using these products for 2 years and my mind and body are revolutionized. Ask anyone at the gym or check my Instagram. You'll see. Now, we know that the 509 Divine Pines podcast likes to stay high, smoke cannabis, and feel mighty animate. For all of you who wants to join along with a joint or a bong while keeping your job, or simply anyone interested in casual, non-psychoactive high through alternative ways of cannabis healing, I have the answer for you. You can purchase all natural holistic CBD flower or more from my sponsor. Visit tweedlefarms.com/509 Divine Pines for an amazing 20% discount on your order of West Coast crafted hemp products. With over 13 strains of flower, concentrates, vapes, gummies, bath bombs, topicals, tinctures, and more. New strains are constantly being added to a diverse catalog, hand selected for an amazing collection of terpenes, cannabinoids, and qualities. Grown in the Pacific Northwest Cascade fertile lands of Oregon. Stay blessed and stay high. Yo, how you guys doing? I'm enjoying myself, man. I've been grinding, I've been busy, I've been shining, but my life is good. I'll be honest though, the world is not. And I'm just gonna take you out of that drama for a second and introduce you to some AI news that might surprise you. So here we go. This mind reading AI can see what you're thinking and draw a picture of it. This is by the World Economic Forum, so you better take this serious. These are the dudes who want to control reality. I mean, literally, the countries of the whole world, they want to control the way we live. One, you can see they want to control what we think. They want to control what we eat, how we breathe, what we drink. Now, let me read a little bit of this. AI experts in China, the US, and Japan have published research recently showing that computers can replicate what people are thinking about by using functional magnetic resonance imaging machines, where they measure brain activity. Hello. Yo, guys. All right. I didn't realize I didn't have my microphone in. Welcome back. Hey, how you guys doing, man? All right. So I've been doing amazing. I will say I've been busy, literally just doing things, working, getting my mind right, getting life right. Man, oh man, what we have ahead is just so intense. You can see it, you can feel it, you can see what's going on around the world, and all these energies are shifting. Are we living in the end times, or are we just living in some crazy world? Now, I don't want to distract you or depress you with all the political drama. So, what I'm going to do today is bring you some much needed AI news. Now, here you guys are. This is from the World Economic Forum. So, you better take this serious. These guys want to control the way you think, the way you breathe, what you eat, what you drink, what you see, and what you say, where you live, and how you pay. Man, oh man. So this mind reading AI can see what you're thinking and draw a picture of it. This article states AI experts in China and the US and Japan have published research showing that computers can replicate what people are thinking by using functional magnetic resonance imaging machines, which measure brain activity, linked to deep neural networks, which replicate human brain functions. Is this telepathy? Well, no, not really. Anjana Ahuja says this is a more accurate, though less catchy description way, which would be described as a reconstruction of a visual field. Most of the research so far has been aimed to deciphering images of what subjects are looking at, or in limited circumstances, what they are thinking about. Studies have previously focused on programs producing images based on shapes or letters they had been taught to recognize when viewed through subjects' minds. However, in one recent piece of research from Japan's ATR Computational Neuroscience Laboratories in Kyoto, at the Kyoto University, scientists said that not only was a program able to decipher images it had been trained to recognize when people looked at them, but our method successfully generalized the reconstruction to artificial shapes, indicating that our model indeed reconstructs or generates images from brain activity, not simply, oh man, not simply to state. Like, this is some wild stuff. These dudes can look through some cameras now. All right, I mean, like, artificial intelligence can look through all these cameras and start reading people's brain patterns, start putting images of what they're thinking. We know that some of these high depth cameras out there have infrared, and they have thermal, and they have all these different other elements besides a normal camera that can actually read our body senses, which is how the Apple phones kind of know us up, and how our smartphones kind of know us up with our body sometimes. And it's like it's reading our brain, and like then we see an ad on our phone. We're like, man, it's like it read our brain. Well, yeah, it did. They've been working on this for a minute. Okay, so meanwhile, scientists at Carnegie Mellon University in the US claim to have gone a step closer to real mind reading by using algorithms to decode brain signals that identify deeper thoughts, such as the young author spoke to the editor and the flood damaged the hospital. The technology, researchers say, is able to understand complex events expressed as sentences and semantic features such as people, places, and actions to predict what type of thoughts are being contemplated. Now, here in this picture, which all my viewers on YouTube will see, this shows how we can predict which patterns in the brain are going to go off, and then which patterns in the brain really go off when we say things. And surprisingly, they match up. So these tests are literally becoming very accurate. After accessing the mental triggers for 239 sentences, this program was able to predict a 240th phrase with 87% accuracy. And this was in 2018. So 4 years ago, these elites have a mind reading technology that was able to predict what you're thinking at an 87% rate. So nowadays in 2022, yeah, I can bet that they have a mind reading technology that can read what you're thinking at like a 95% rate. Marcel Just, who is leading the research, said our method overcomes the unfortunate property of the fMRI to smear together the signals emanating from the brain events that occur close together in time, like reading the two successive words in sentence. This advance makes it possible for the first time to decode thoughts containing several concepts. What most are humans thinking of is literally their idea on creating this. So they just want to know what we're thinking. Oh man. And this is a ethical problem. To be honest, I'm not really cool with them recreating our brain patterns. It's quite frightening. Next up, AI can predict whether your relationship will last based on how you speak to your partner. All of you at home, go get this. Find this, because man, oh man, I'm tired of seeing y'all break up, and I'm tired of seeing y'all like in divorces and go through fights, and I'm tired of seeing everyone live a fake relationship. I'm single as fuck, so it's like, I don't want to be in a fake relationship, and so a bad relationship is not something I condone. And so this AI is something good. Like I'll be honest, this is how we use artificial intelligence the right way. New research just published in the journal PLOS One has analyzed the vocal characteristics of 134 couples undergoing therapy. Researchers at the University of Southern California used computers to extract standard speech analysis features from recordings of therapy session participants over 2 years. The features, including pitch, variation in pitch, and intonation, all relate to voice aspects like tone and intensity. A machine learning algorithm was then trained to learn a relationship between those vocal features and the eventual outcome of therapy. This wasn't as simple as detecting shouting or raised voices. It included the interplay of conversation, who spoke when and for how long, as well as the sound of the voices. It turned out that ignoring what was being said and considering only these patterns of speaking was sufficient to predict whether or not couples would stay together. This was purely data driven, so it didn't relate outcomes to specific voice attributes. Interestingly The full video recordings of the therapy sessions were then given to experts to classify. Unlike the AI, they made their predictions using psychological assessment based on the vocal and other attributes, including the words spoken and body language. Surprisingly, their prediction of the eventual outcome were correct, and 75% of the time was inferior to predictions made by the AI based on vocal characteristics, which was 79%. Clearly, there are elements encoded in the way we speak that not experts are aware of. But the best results came from combining the automated assessment with the expert's assessment, 79.6%. So they gave the AI the experts paperwork and readings, and then the AI made an even better prediction. Wow. That's pretty interesting. Words written on page or a screen have lexical meanings derived from their dictionary definitions. That was just some random words added to this. All right, you know what? This article's done. Next one. AI can predict psychosis risk in everyday language. People's language could reveal clues about their future risk of developing psychosis or other mental health deficiencies. Researchers at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, and Harvard University in Boston, Massachusetts, used a machine learning technique to analyze language in a group of at-risk young people. They found that they could predict which individuals would go into psychosis with an accuracy of 93%. Holy fuck. Now, look, I study psychology, and I'm a huge proponent of tackling mental health and having a positive brain, like ideas, and taking care of yourself and taking care of your family, and the way we speak, the way we think, that whole psychological aspect, right? I delve into a little bit of the physiology too with the way that I do supplements, but in general, this is important. I mean, I do believe that some of these psychological issues and personality disorders may be caused by things like demons and fallen angels and otherworldly entities and other dimensional entities. And yes, that's hard to prove, but it's throughout history that we've uh, pulled on the fabric of the ancient teachings and the things that we're not really allowed to talk about. So when we pull on that fabric, we uncover that, hey, there are these dark forces making people go through very bad mental illnesses. Now this AI, though, if it can actually be used like properly, which I mean, it says 93%, that's pretty proper. And it can also detect, like, it also puts into its theorem the possibility of like curses and magic and witches and witchcraft. That would be great. Just like the last AI we seen, it had a psychological professor's real handwriting, and then it made its own, so it put together two different theorems. Now if we can do the same thing with this, where we see the military, like the Navy has these videos of the UFO, the Nimitz video. Well, these technologies that our military has the potential to see these other dimensional entities, where that's why we see videos all around, like ghosts and crafts, beings, and it's like weird shape shifting, like spirits and like all this crazy stuff. Well, our cameras can see that. So if we can go ahead and mix both of these together and like be like, hey, is there entities around, and is this person being affected by those entities through the cameras, and then using the camera's AI to be like, well, what is the outcome of this, or what can we do about this? Yeah, I think that's where it could possibly be beneficial. Senior study author Philip Wolf, a professor of psychology at Emory University, explains that the earlier research has established a subtle features of future psychosis are present in people's language. We've used machine learning to actually uncover hidden details about those features. He and his colleagues divide their machine learning approach to measure two linguistic variables, semantic density and the use of words relating to sound. They concluded that conversion to psychosis is signaled by low semantic density and talk about voices and sound. Low semantic density is a measure of what the team refers to as poverty of content or vagueness. This work, note the authors, is a proof of concept study demonstrating that indicators of full future mental health can be extracted from people's natural language using computational methods. So, these guys might be really trying to help, and I think that this is a good thing. Man, if you look at some of these big cities, San Francisco, Seattle, and just anywhere around the world right now, the big cities, there's a huge problem with homelessness and the homeless people being mentally distraught, mentally damaged, going through mental health issues. And if we can help them, if we could help anyone going through something that they can't see or something that they don't understand, something that they were just born with, it's a blessing to be able to save one person. I'm a huge proponent of saving people, and even if even if it's one person, it doesn't matter. Save the world, save one person, save everyone. Rezai began working on a study while she was a resident of the Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences at Emory University School of Medicine. Now, this article continues on talking about psychology and AI, and well, we know where it goes. I just hope that this is for the best, and I really do think that this is a good thing. And if anyone knows people around that could take some good information from these topics, and maybe inter interject them in their lives, or use them in their lives, sorry, then or study these topics and artificial intelligence, or delve into a new career, I recommend it. Not everything is for the bad. Not everything in this world is used for evil, and there's a whole bunch of light, there's a whole bunch of love, and people trying to do good. Be one of those people. Next article. Can AI algorithms predict your future? In 2019, researchers at the University of Michigan revealed how a deep learning based algorithm could predict the future location of a pedestrian and their gait. The biomechanically inspired recurrent neural network was created to help driverless vehicles while also steering clear of entering the creepy territory. Atomwise is using AI and deep learning to transform the drug discovery industry. Its algorithms extract insights from millions of experimental affinity measures and thousands of protein structures to predict the bindings of small molecules and proteins. What? Okay. So as a result, AI has helped the company improve hit rates by 10,000 times and speed up the work of chemists. Elsewhere, hospital admissions data such as zip code, medication, and diagnostic history is helping AI predict what patients are at future risk of suicide and deliver programs to them before the thoughts enter their head. Although this tech comes from a good place, it also raises ethical debates about how to intervene with someone who has not asked for it or aware of their problems awaiting the horizon. In the fight against cancer, the healthcare industry needs to better predict who is going to get it in the future. Capturing the disease in the early stages and proactively preventing breast cancer has potential to be a game changer for women. MIT researchers developed an algorithm, a deep learning model that can predict whether a patient can develop breast cancer in the future, which is where one of my last articles went. It can predict health issues. However, things can quickly take a turn for the worse when predictive policing and pre crime algorithms enter the conversation. There's an increasing belief in some circles that if you feed big data from arrest histories, social media, and other activities to AI, a pre-crime division can solve crimes before they occur. 20 years after the movie's original release, Minority Report style technology has already arrived with driverless cars, personalized ads, voice controlled homes, and facial recognition. But predictive policing is arguably leading us into a world where police analysts instruct officers to question suspects based on algorithms rather than their present actions. Another example is the recent news that athletes competing in the Winter Olympics in Beijing have been warned that they will be under Orwellian levels of surveillance, which stifle freedoms and keep people from having certain types of conversations, monitoring personal data and social media to predict future behavior and conversations and prevent them from taking place. 10 years ago, Target's algorithms were able to identify that a teen girl was pregnant before her father did. 5 years ago, Facebook boasted to advertisers that it could recognize when teens felt insecure. More recently, as AI gets more intelligent, it can determine when a person will die. And all three of those statements have links. So, you heard that right. Target, an algorithm can predict when you're pregnant. Facebook can algorithm AI can tell you, or actually it knows when you're insecure, knows when you're sad, knows your emotions. And now there's a new algorithm that can predict when you die. The problem with predicting future human behaviors in the same way as a meteorologist would predict a forecast of weather is that we are dehumanizing people. Look, AI can say that it predicts all this stuff, but I mean, it's still, there's still room for error. So just because these AIs are coming out, don't think that's the end of the world. Um, there's still a long way to go for humanity, but there is a huge aspect of dehumanizing us. Yeah. Just be aware, but be positive that we're still ahead of these fucking robots. These robots can't be us. They want to be like us, but further problems will occur if an algorithm doesn't understand your history or incorrectly determines you are not reliable enough to be given a loan or land on your next job. Rather than predicting your future, it could purposely restrict your options around self-improvement. Yeah, some of these algorithms, like in China, are really fucking over people by just making up bullshit and like literally blocking them from reality. Next article. AI can predict your political ideology using a brain scan. Scientists have used brain scanning techniques to delve into the neuroscientific underpinnings of political beliefs. For example, researchers have found previously that conservatives tend to have more gray matter volumes in their amygdala, a region associated with fear, anxiety, aggression, while liberals tend to have more in their anterior cingulate cortex, tied to, among other things, ethics and morality. Another experiment showed that the brains of liberals and conservatives reacted differently to charged words in political videos. In the current study, researchers observed and recorded functional connectivity in the brains of 174 healthy young adult subjects as they performed various simple tasks, such as pressing a pop-up button as quickly as possible for monetary reward, pairing names with faces, or answering true or false questions about a story they had just read. Subjects also had their brain scanned in a resting state, awake and relaxed with their eyes closed. Measuring functional connectivity is somewhat rare in political neuroscience. The researchers utilized a state-of-the-art AI deep learning technique called BrainNet CNN, running on supercomputers at Ohio Supercomputer Center to analyze the functional connectivity data from all the tasks and to correlate them with the subject's self-reportedly political ideology, which was scored on a 1 to 6 scale from very liberal to very conservative. BrainNet CNN was able to use the data to predict the person's political ideology with about 70% accuracy, similar to what you would expect from guessing a person's ideology based on their parents' beliefs, which is actually considered to be one of the strongest predictors of ideology in political science. Now, this article was, let's see, this year. So, this year they are using a new technology in their AIs to go ahead and read society's brain and kind of get a better understanding on their politics, their newscasting, what they say, how people react, possibly demographics, and you know, um, looking at this from a map standpoint, seeing how people group together and think and political fashions, because some people say that they're one way, but they think a different way. Like, like for sure, there's like fake ass politicians. They say that that they're like for the people, and they're kind of Republican, but they're really not, or that they're you know Democratic, but they're really not. Like, some of these people lie, and this AI can predict that lie. Next article: how AI could predict medical conditions and revive healthcare. As AI improves, more industries are considering how to best implement it to improve efficiency and outcomes, including healthcare. The health sector stands to benefit greatly as the increasing demands of an aging global population promises to continue to strain already tired systems. Medical AI created automated processes in healthcare could significantly increase efficiency, reduce spending, and enhance patient care and health outcomes. In fact, several AI models that can outperform physicians in radiology diagnostic accuracy already exist, ultimately reducing human error. In medicine, AI is being employed in predictive and analytics to explore patient data sets and forecast the likelihood of certain disorders. Emerging studies have shown that AI can detect traditionally difficult to identify or diagnose conditions, including rare, hereditary, or neurodegenerative diseases. As AI evolves, external factors such as social determinants and lifestyle choices may be incorporated into these models. An individual's health outcome is estimated to be roughly influenced by 40 to 50% by behavior, 20 to their physical and social environment, while genetics account for only 30%. So the way you think influences about 40 to 50% of your health. Which, oh man, that's impressive. That's why everyone says to think positive and you'll live a positive life. Um, Wow, fascinating. Meaning a model that evaluates an individual's combined genetic and behavior social data would greatly improve a physician's ability to choose the best treatment path medication for each individual. Furthermore, the interaction of complex social determinants that play a role in creating health disparities between ethnic groups and different socioeconomic groups could be captured and potentially rectified like never before. Now, this is fascinating. I really do like this. See, my mom's in the health field, and I've just always been fascinated with medicine. And truly, I love holistic medicine. I'm a holistic guy, and so I'm into herbs and healing myself through natural methods. And uh, medicine is important. Now, if AI can go ahead and help people um, way earlier and way more efficient and just on point, hey man, I'm all for it. This is a beautiful thing. Technology is a blessing. Next article. This AI guided drone has mapped one of the Earth's deepest subterranean lakes. In the spring of 2017, explorer and robotics system designer Vicky Siegel was navigating a mist-soaked cave in southern Mexico when she slipped, tearing a tendon in her knee. After a grueling self-rescue aided by her teammates, Siegel flew back to the U.S. for surgery. It was during this recovery period that she first heard about Dragon's Breath Cave, a sprawling, water-filled cavern buried beneath the sands of Kalahari Desert in Africa. I came across this documentary series on Africa, and they really do a short segment on Dragon's Breath. It captivated me. It was this amazing juxtaposition of desert and vast amounts of water. 2 years later, Siegel, along with a team of robotics engineers and divers, arrived in Namibia to see Dragon's Breath for herself, but the human explorers wouldn't be alone on their expedition. They had brought along an AI-controlled underwater drone to map the cavern's contours, as well as two other deep cave diving sites in Namibia. And with the drone's help, the team was able to explore these waterlogged caverns much farther and much deeper than any human diver before them. Ever since 1986, when explorers discovered one of the world's largest subterranean lakes at Dragon's Breath Cave, divers have attempted to probe the farthest reaches of the underground caverns, but time and again, these attempts have been thwarted by the lake's substantial water depth. The world's best divers have been trying to reach the bottom of Dragon's Breath and nearby caves for 30 years, and they're just not getting there. It's too big. The expedition team was hoping to see more than just the austere beauty of Namibia's subterranean caves. They wanted to use the remote locations as a testing ground for a new iteration of autonomous water underground vehicles. Over the past decade, Siegel has worked as a field operations director for Stone Aerospace, a robotics company in Austin, Texas. Much of the company's work is dedicated to developing autonomous robots to help NASA explore our solar system. The company has proposed multiple designs for robots and probes that explore underneath the thick layers of ice covering solar system bodies like Europa. Such icy moons are considered some of the best places in our stellar neighborhood to search for life. We are just now beginning to see what we would call true AI entering the world of exploration. Even beyond what is being done with the Curiosity rover on Mars right now. Rather than relying on GPS, radio, or any external communication, this autonomous drone, dubbed Sunfish, uses a sonar mapping sensor to traverse uncharted territory, much like a bat uses echolocation. Stone says the robot uses feedback from its sensors to inform behavior-based algorithms that mimic the way we explore and make decisions as humans. Beyond that, the bot is capable of producing detailed 3D maps of these underwater locations. In this case here, we're faced with the ultimate unknown. We don't even have an orbital observatory or satellite shots like the Mars rover. This was a place to test out, to put it in a completely unknown, unstructured environment. The expedition's first stop was Lake Guinas, an open-air cenote, essentially a naturally formed sinkhole created when a cave ceiling crumbles, exposing the groundwater underneath. The site's biggest mystery, much like the other cave diving locations, explains Stone, is that divers didn't know what the lake actually looked like beneath the surface. Due to Gina's extreme depth and the dangers of underwater compression, human divers were forced to surface before reaching the bottom. But the maps produced by Sunfish were able to paint a clear picture. The drone determined that the cenote was shaped like an hourglass, extending nearly 1,000 feet long and 575 feet wide at the bottom, with a depth of 435 feet. The group's next destination, Harasib, located close to Lake Guinas, is a jagged pit with a water-filled shaft beneath. The team had to lower their equipment more than 320 feet down the pit using winches, while the explorers rappelled down using ropes. Once they reached the water's surface, the drone stuck close to the walls to safely navigate its descent. It would move and then do this pirouette where it was scanning the environment and then it would stop and think for a second on the next logical place to move. Seeing this beautiful little orange robot doing these pirouettes in the blue water was just remarkable. Sunfish was able to roam beyond the limitations of previous divers, mapping the shaft's complete structure for the first time using real time navigation. The drone discovered a sprawling corridor measuring 260 feet wide and roughly 330 feet high. Beyond that, it continued almost another 1,000 feet to the end of a giant chamber at a depth of more than 800 feet underwater. Finally, the group arrived at Dragon's Breath. The cave gets a name from the humid air that rises through the shaft's opening. Deep in the cavern's belly lies one of the largest underground lakes in the world, not formed by a glacier. It's an incredible place to rappel down, and we knew that, similar to Guinas, beneath the lake's surface, the walls belled out and it opened up. During the robot's initial pass, Sunfish sketched the lake's perimeter walls, creating a map that outlined the cross section of a deep tunnel, measuring 575 feet wide and almost 200 feet tall. After returning to the tunnel, the robot finally reached the cave's end. It was more than 670 feet below the surface. When the month-long expedition was over, the team produced complete 3D maps of Dragon's Breath Cave, Lake Guinas, and Hedesib. Sequel and Stone say the maps may be used by geologists and resource managers who want to understand the arid landscape using hydrology. Beyond that, they can act as a valuable navigation tool for divers seeking to visit the site. And Sunfish success might even act as a trial for future interplanetary exploration, like searching for signs of life beneath the ice on Europa, one of the moons orbiting Jupiter. So this picture we see is the underground map of the lake, and as you see, the top is the opening, and it definitely does um, widen out at the bottom. This whole project is a window into where we are with this gradual transition towards true autonomy and AI behavior in completely unstructured environments. We're talking about vehicles going to places never before seen by humans. And that's what Sunfish just did for the very first time. It explored a completely unknown place inside this planet beyond where humans had ever been before. That is amazing. See, I love this type of stuff. AI can be used for such amazing purposes. This is incredible. I can only imagine now that they're gonna start using this for all the other caves, all the other mountains, um, islands, anywhere on Earth that humans have not gone. This technology will be implemented, and in the last, let's see, 20 years, 10 years, we've heard a lot of talk about how the world's ocean is only like 5% explored, 10% explored, 20%, whatever, and that not even all of the world's land is explored. I can see that now we're gonna explore it, and so how in the last 5 years we've managed to get like 99% of the world's DNA, or like 90% of the world's DNA labbed up already. So now they're gonna go ahead and map the rest of the world and discover a whole bunch of more of treasures, DNA, species, technologies. Man, what we're about to discover is gonna make the last 10 years look like a sliver. Like, so, okay, how do I say this? Maybe I should say this more precisely. The next 100 years will make the last 500 years look like a sliver. That's more precise. See, we're going to achieve so much more in the next 100 years that the last 500 years will be like hardly anything happened. Even though a lot did, yeah, but technologically wise, people are uh, becoming like immortal. They're becoming cyborgs. We're going off planet. We're having this technology to locate and map out any area we want. We can predict our health problems, predict the people think. Man, honestly, where we are in 2022, you can see that we're on the brink of space technology, living in the future, quote unquote, living in the future, right? Flying cars, flying vehicles, time travel, possibly, space travel, all that stuff. It's gonna happen soon. Like, we're on the brink. Supposedly, secretly, these Men in Black and very billionaire black label projects and these secret organizations have these technologies and are already using futuristic things in the last like 50 years, which is why things have been getting crazy. Like, we can tell the government's doing something funky, fishy, very alienish, and they're using alien, funky technology. And now it's about to go into hyperdrive. And so buckle your seat belts, everyone. Next article. Announcing AI for Earth, Microsoft's new program to put AI for work for the future of our planet. What did we just hear? Microsoft is gonna make AI work for our planet? Or wait, hold on, let me read this. Yeah. Today, at an AI event in London, we announced a new program called AI for Earth, aimed at putting the power of artificial intelligence towards solving some of the biggest environmental challenges of our time. As a technology company with a deep commitment to sustainability, we understand that the responsibility extends beyond our own operations to innovating towards a healthier and better future more broadly. We are excited by a potential of putting artificial intelligence in the hands of researchers and organizations to drive new data insights that will help solve important issues related to water, agriculture, biodiversity, and climate change. Four of the hugest problems in the last couple of years. It's like, wow, if they put their hands on researchers, these researchers are not using this AI and not using this information properly, because it's all going to shit. Microsoft will offer access to cloud and AI computing resources, technology, trainings, and lighthouse projects. And to lead this work, we've named Lucas Jopa to the role of chief environmental scientist, which he then left or got fired from for fucking everything up. Uh, the scale and speed of the changes we see in our physical and natural world require new solutions, but the latest innovative technologies often come with a price tag and require computational expertise that puts them out of reach for many researchers and non-governmental organizations. To make AI more accessible to these important groups, we've designed a program based on 3 pillars: access, education, innovation. Our goal is to empower others in new and more impactful ways to help create a more sustainable future. This program expands our commitment to democratizing AI. I can't believe they just fucking said that. This program expands to our commitments to democratizing AI and advancing sustainability around the globe. Sustainability, that's bullshit, bro. This earth is self-sustainable. See, their idea is sustainability is them controlling us and keeping us in a sustainable state. And it builds upon our experience in accelerating the pace of innovation, bringing together philanthropic work, connectivity advances, and more accessible technology around the world. Yeah, so this was in 2017, and this was just before, all of the fucking, drama pandemic happened, and it almost seems like they didn't use this properly. Next article. Climate Alpha wants to guide real estate through climate change and artificial intelligence. The big picture: Climate Alpha, which just raised a $4 million seed round, uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to tell customers where to invest and move to in light of climate change and other factors. Climate impacts like sea level rise and extreme weather events will interact with socioeconomic trends and other developments to make places more and less desirable places to live. Climate Alpha uses software to consider as many drivers as possible that could affect real estate values in a warming world. The result, Kana told Axios, is a guide to where businesses, governments, individual homeowners, and others should invest for a more resilient future. Climate Alpha's models include all US zip codes with different algorithms for each property. The company forecasts real estate values for every year out to 2040 under various climate scenarios. Through a partnership with MasterCard, cities may use Climate Alpha's Resilience Index platform to prioritize where to spend resilience grants and funds for public housing. Now, I'm not sure how to think about this. I don't know. I mean, like if it's 100% accurate, then that's what's up. Like, but like, how can you predict the future of climates and environments? Like, it's pretty crazy to think about that. I mean, yes, it's an AI and it's a computer and it has access to way more data than I do. But I mean, that's still just like a hard thing to imagine, like that it can predict like the future parts of the world and shit. But hey, um, that's what's up. Climate Alpha is predicated. Alpha Climate Alpha is predicated on a bet that proactive relocation can keep Americans a step ahead of the climate. However, this rests in part of the rate of global warming being manageable. Nasty surprises such as tipping points lurk within the climate and are difficult to model. In addition, growing inequality could limit America's resilience. Lastly, a big wild card would be how millions of climate refugees worldwide will affect geopolitics. See, there's just so much to take into play when so I mean that's a cool app, but it's just I don't think that it's something that's gonna last or even something that's gonna be popular. Next article. The power of AI to help mitigate and manage climate change. Every day, people throughout your organization make decisions, possibly hundreds of them, that either increase or decrease its sustainability. Which supplier should we choose? Do we procure green glass or clear glass for our product? Just as artificial intelligence has improved the decisions organizations make to optimize financial performance, improve processes, meet customer needs, and more, it will be critical in helping them reach their climate goals. In fact, because it can gather, complete, and interpret large, complex data sets on emissions and climate impact. AI is fundamentally important in helping to manage the full range of climate related issues. So, they interviewed 1,000 leaders, and 87% of them said that AI is a helpful tool to fight against climate change. 43% of them say they know how to use AI to help fight climate change. So, let's just say like 40% of the world's leading AI researchers, climate change researchers, elites, let's just say 40% of the brighter thinkers of this subject already know how to use AI to tackle climate change, and maybe they are. There are some exciting examples of technology already doing this work. Climate Trace, tracking real-time and atmospheric carbon emissions. A coalition backed by Al Gore uses satellite imagery and AI to measure emissions. Blue Sky Analytics, a member of Climate Trace, can estimate emissions specifically from fires. And Pachama uses satellite imagery and AI to measure and monitor carbon stored in forests over time, identifying high quality carbon credits. BCG CO2 AI platform helps organize, measure, simulate, track, and optimize their emissions at scale. This ready-to-deploy software can be used across all industries, including oil and gas, biopharmaceuticals, automotive, and consumer products. It not only accurately measures emissions directly produced by the company's own activities, but also quantifies the more difficult to measure indirect emissions produced along the company's entire value chain. It's pretty cool. I'll admit. I mean, I'm not for the carbon zero shit that most of the World Economic Forum is for, so I'm not really too sure if that's what this AI is going to be used for. But if the AI can be used for good, then I do support that good. I definitely think that look, I'm not a believer in climate change, but I definitely believe that our world, our environment, our nature can be healed, and our climate can be healed, our atmosphere can be healed, um, and thus producing a better human, better society, cleaner body, cleaner mind. So I'm for it. I'm Yeah, this is cool. Next, AlphaFold solved biology's protein folding problem. As people around the world marveled in July as the most detailed pictures of the cosmos snapped by the James Webb Telescope, biologists put their first glimpses of a different set of images, ones that could help revolutionize life sciences research. The images are predicted 3D shapes of more than 200 million proteins rendered by an artificial intelligence system called AlphaFold. You can think of it as covering the entire protein universe. Now, if that's good, because if we can understand what our body exactly needs in the proteins and all that, then we get stronger. If we understand what the plants and animals need, then they get stronger. Combining several deep learning techniques, the computer program is trained to predict protein shapes by recognizing patterns and structures that have already been solved through decades of experimental work using electron microscopes and other methods. The AI's first splash came in 2021 with predictions of 350,000 protein structures, including almost all known human proteins. DeepMind partnered with the European Bioinformatics Institute of the European Molecular Biology Laboratory to make the structures available in a public database. July's massive new release expanded the library to almost every organism on the planet that has its genome sequenced. So, just like I said, they have almost all the life sequenced, and now we're really getting into the real deal of health. Pretty soon, like over the next 10 years, we're gonna see the health and medical industry improve so much because of stuff like this. These are predictions, not actual structures. Yet researchers have used some of the 2021 predictions to develop potential new malaria vaccines, improve understandings of Parkinson's disease, work out how to protect honeybee health, gain insight into human evolution, and more. DeepMind has also focused AlphaFold on neglected tropical diseases, including Chagas disease and Leishmaniasis, which can be debilitating or lethal if left untreated. Expanding the protein universe. So, man, in 2021, the AlphaFold project released predictive structures for about 1 million proteins, including almost all known human proteins. This year, the AlphaFold database has exploded with predicted structures of more than 200 million proteins. So, this graphic picture uh, that I have on the screen shows you how much data this artificial intelligence has already mapped out um, predictively. I mean, it still needs to be proven, but I doubt that this thing will be wrong. So we see the small dot right there, protein data bank, which was at probably year 2000. We had that. In 2021, AlphaFold predicted a whole bunch more. And then this year we can see just a ridiculous amount of newer discoveries. Like absolutely world changing. If all of this turns out to be true, then oh my god. Predictions are more accurate for some proteins than for others. Erroneous predictions could leave some scientists thinking that they understand how protein works when really they don't. But I really don't think that that's going to happen too much with see, artificial intelligence isn't perfect, but if you can see that most of these artificial intelligence these days have 70 to 80% accuracy, like 70 to 90% accuracy, better than professionals, and we're still in the infancy stages of AI, then the AI is very powerful. And later on, I'm going to explain something about AI that you may not know. AI may be ancient. AI may be from the gods. Artificial intelligence and robots and androids, this is nothing new. So when we or the scientists use these things, this isn't anything new, and we're not even reaching the best yet. Next article. An AI can decode speech from brain activity with surprising activity. Artificial intelligence can decode words and sentences from brain activity with surprising accuracy. Using only a few seconds of brain activity data, the AI guesses what a person has heard. It lists the correct answer in its top 10 possibilities, up to 73% right of the time. The AI's performance was above what many people thought was possible at the stage. See, yeah, I'm telling you, we're in the infancy stages of AI, and this is fascinating. I'm reading all these articles for the first time with you listening to them, so this is life changing to understand that the elites are already using artificial intelligence to map, predict, guess, create, and do all these things up to a 90% in 2022. And our understanding of life is being this natural earth based, we're not worthy of the higher technology. All that shit is out the door because man, the new technology is here and it's right in front of us. King and his colleagues trained a computational tool to detect words and sentences on 56,000 hours of speech recordings from 53 languages. The tool, also known as a language model, learned how to recognize the specific features of languages both at fine-grained level, think letters and syllables, and at a broader level, such as words or sentences. The team applied an AI with this language model to databases from 4 institutions that included brain activity from 169 volunteers. In these databases, participants listened to various stories and sentences from Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea and Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventure in Wonderland, while the people's brains were scanned through either magnetoencephalography or electroencephalography. These techniques measure the magnetic and electrical components of the brain signals. Then, with the help of a computational method that helps account for physical differences among actual brains, the team tried to decode what participants had heard just using 3 seconds of brain activity data from each person. The team instructed the AI to align the speech sounds from the story recordings of patterns of brain activity that the AI computed as corresponding to what the people were hearing. It then made predictions about what the person might have been hearing during that time, given more than 1,000 possibilities. Using encephalography, or MEG. The correct answer was in the AI's top 10 guesses, up to 70% correct of the time. The researchers found with electroencephalography that value dropped to no more than 30%. So with electroencephalography, they had 30% correct predictions. With magnetoencephalography, they got 73% correct predictions. So this is amazing. This is cool. I mean, it's probably a little bit too much. Like, this is ridiculous, but it's still kind of cool. For people who are deaf, maybe people who can't talk. You can hear what they think, and you can, yeah, amazing. All right, next up, artificial intelligence created its own fucking language. Sorry for my friendy, but Jesus Christ, man, these dudes are doing devil's work, and we're just here fucking taking it. An artificial intelligence program has developed its own language and no one can understand it. OpenAI is an artificial intelligence system developer. Their programs are fantastic examples of supercomputing, but there are quirks. DALL-E 2 is OpenAI's latest AI system. It can generate realistic or artistic images from user-entered text descriptions. DALL-E 2 represents a milestone in machine learning. OpenAI site says the program learned the relationship between images and the text used to describe them. A DALL-E 2 demonstration include interactive keywords for visiting users to play with and generating images. Toggling different keywords result in different images, styles, and subject. But the system has one strange behavior. It's writing its own language of random arrangement of letters, and researchers don't know why. Giannis Dardis, a computer PhD student of the University of Texas, explained DALL-E's new language. Darius told DALL-E 2 to create an image of farmers talking about vegetables. And the program did so, but the farmer's speech read Vicutes, and some unknown AI word. Darius fed Vicutes back in the DALL-E E2 system and got back a picture of vegetables. We then feed the words apopole vegetables and we get birds. It seems that the farmers are talking about birds messing with their vegetables. So there's a hidden vocabulary that they're understanding. They acknowledge that telling DALL-E 2 to generate images of words, the command an image of the word airplane is Darius' example, normally results in DALL-E 2 spitting out gibberish text. When plugged back into DALL-E 2, that gibberish text will result in images of airplanes, which says something about the way DALL-E 2 talks and thinks of itself. Some AI researchers argue that DALL-E 2's gibberish text is random noise. I do not think so. And there's another article coming up that will kind of make you think that this isn't just some random noise. Next article. So this is Rumbus. Now Rumbus is a AI. It's working with the Guardian AI, I believe. It's a program that is ran by our government or military. Now, here is what it says. Rumbus is transforming the nation's defense and national security enterprises with Guardian, our cutting-edge artificial intelligence platform for strategic, operational, and tactical decisions at the speed of relevance. Today, everything that the United States stands for is being contested. America's adversaries never rest, neither do we. Threats to our country are only accelerating. So must we all. At Rumbus, we are all day, every day for the United States of America. At Rumbus, we know that the future belongs to those who believe in the power of collaboration to drive impact with conviction and focus. Together, we can and we will make the world a stronger, safer, better place, not by hoping for it or wishing for it, but through something as timeless as hard work and something as innovative as artificial intelligence. So, this is pretty fascinating. I couldn't really find too much more about it, and that's okay. Some of these things will be talked about later more, but it's cool to see such a collaborative effort into something. And not in all markets do you find collaboration for good hearted people and progress and success in healing the world. And so when you do, it's rare and it's important. Next article: the AI that deciphers ancient Greek graffiti. So this is a podcast I was talked to, that I was listening to a little bit, and it's ran by the Nature Mag, and yeah, it's an AI helped decipher ancient Greek graffiti. So these AIs are used now to study ancient antiquity and ancient hieroglyphs, Greek graffiti, Hebrew writings. This is not the first article I've seen about this type of thing, ancient equity being explored by AI, and it's awesome to be able to read all those ancient scripts and look at all of these hieroglyphs of the pyramids and have an AI tell you exactly what is what, and so you don't miss anything, because the AI is also doing like these thermal scans and using different methods to figure out hidden things that normal eyes can't see. So this is awesome. Next up, meet Golem, the first artificial intelligence. Curator and scholar Emily D. Bilski looks back through the ages to explore the golem of Jewish mysticism, legend, and art in a time before artificial was even a thing. What is the connection to between AI and the golem? The golem, an artificially created human of Jewish tradition, has been long evoked as a metaphor for artificial intelligence by scientists, philosophers, writers, and artists. The motivations and methods for creating a golem, as well as the golem's actions once it has been brought to life, have provided powerful analogies for the potential risks and benefits of creating artificial intelligence. So, a golem in ancient past was a created being, like it was made out of clay, but it was also given a heart. It was given some type of energy to live, whether it be a soul, heart, magic, dust, or something. See, witchcraft, these magic workers knew how to create golems, and golems were real in the ancient past. Like, people you know would say that these golems were, they were lifeless until they were breathed life into them. So artificial intelligence is the same way, where it's like this inanimate object until we click that little switch that says think for yourself and live, and then it starts living and thinking for itself. The word golem occurs once in the Bible. Thine eyes did see my golem in Psalm 139-16, where it denotes an unformed substance, something embryonic. According to the Talmudic commentaries, these words were spoken by Adam to God, and golem was understood as physical form of man before acquiring a soul. This innate connection between the first human and a golem inspired writers and artists beginning in the 19th century to view the golem as our doppelganger, a concept that can be seen mirrored in AI developments and in our desire to create ever more human-looking robots and synthetic humans. Yes, in some man's essence, like when the Bible says that God breathed life into humans, made them from dirt, like in some essence we are like a golem. Like, no, undoubtedly we're made from dirt, and then we were instilled our life in us. Just like a golem. A golem's made from clay. And then it's instilled its life. Oh my God. So, in Jewish tradition, the idea of creating an artificial human being appears in the Babylonian Talmud. In the Talmud, the sage Rabbah declares, if the righteous wished, they could create a world. Rabbah created an artificial man from dust, which, however, was unable to speak and subsequently was destroyed. The Talmud does not discuss how this creative act was accomplished, but techniques for creating artificial life are contained in the Sefer Yetzirah, Book of Creation, which discusses God's creation of the universe by means of permutations of the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. In the Bible, God created the world through language, and Jewish mystics explored the creative potential inherent in combinations of Hebrew letters in emulation of the divine. Now, this continues talking about the golem, which, I might eventually go on and talk about. But as for now, we will go on to the next subject. Artificial consciousness, how to give a robot a soul. See, these elites are trying to figure out how to give these robots a soul now. So now that we see that they have created artificial intelligence, which seems to be very, very smart, they want to now instill a soul in it or make it conscious. So, I can see that maybe the robots in the next 10 years might have some sort of type of conscious aspect. Next article. Deep learning AI discovers surprising new antibiotics. So, along with the medical studies that the AI does, it is creating new antibiotics. It's creating new medicines that the world has never seen, and it's fascinating. In a study published on February 20 in the Journey Cell, scientists from MIT and Harvard use a type of AI called deep learning to discover new antibiotics. So, I approve. Like, I really approve. I did a little bit of reading on this before, and it's awesome. The Harvard MIT team used a new type of deep learning AI called graph neural networks for drug discovery. And yeah, they made the AI made new medicines for us. So we're not having to work as hard to find these medicines. Um literally we're saving lives now. This is where everything changes, either for the good or for the bad, but everything changed. Now humans have way more opportunity and chances and technologies to better their lives. Next up, an AI was asked to show an image from inside a black hole. And I got the images right here. So all my viewers at home, these are it. This is pretty fascinating. So an AI created these images. I'm not going to be able to click on them singly, but we can see them. They're pretty cool. This is supposedly what the inside of a black hole would look like. You know, most of us have already seen a black hole with our girlfriends, but yeah, man, we could see some more. All right, so next up. The religion that worships artificial intelligence wants machines to be in charge of the planet. The first AI based church was founded by Anthony Lewandowski, the Silicon Valley multimillionaire. And their website reads, given the technology will relatively soon be able to surpass human capability, we want to help educate people about this exciting future, prepare for a smooth transition. Lewandowski explained that he chose a church to promote his vision for AI rather than a startup or tech think tank, so everyday people could get excited about the possibility of it, a future led by artificial intelligence. He believes that future is inevitable and AI will begin to disrupt every industry imaginable, whether we like it or not. But the Rhombus program, artificial intelligence with the Guardian Network, actually wants to keep AI and computers below us. So these two people would have a problem. Um, the Rhombus and Guardian institution wants to help humans be in control of robots and AI. Their mission is to not let robots be in charge of us, not let artificial intelligence be in charge of us, and for us to be in charge of them. So this religion can go fuck itself. I don't want no AI to be in charge of me. I'm just gonna say that. Hey, next article. Artificial intelligence discovers alternative physics. Now, I had read this article. These engineers gave artificial intelligence multiple problems, engineering problems, and the artificial intelligence started coming out with new variables and new answers. So, it gave multiple answers, and of course, one of the answers, the scientists were like, "Oh yeah, I knew exactly what this meant." But then all the other answers, the algorithm was using different forms of physics, different variables, different computations of math. So it was using all this different language that, understandably, let's just say, like, w- if we go to another galaxy, because we're in the Milky Way galaxy, if we go to another galaxy, the way that the people from that galaxy would understand math is completely different. So, in theory, there's probably like a million different ways of math and physics and geometry and fucking all that and understanding it. It's just, depends where we come from. It's like language, different dialects and different languages. But we're saying the same thing still and meaning the same thing. The team was confident that the AI had found a valid set of four variables since it was making good predictions, but we don't understand the mathematical language it's speaking. So the AI was just producing more information and newer ways of this answer than the scientists had ever found. So what I can see from here is that the scientists are going to start learning newer ways of physics. We're going to start unlocking all these things. I mean, because the artificial intelligence is now giving us the other answers that we've never had. So as long as the scientists can pull on the threads and pull on that string, it'll be good. Elon Musk says we are summoning the demon with artificial intelligence. Now, like a golem being a lifeless body, or yeah, lifeless body until we breathe life into it. Could it not be that we're creating a robot for which another life could enter that we don't even understand, or a platform, a this this body, this artificial intelligence body that another entity could take over? Like, let's just say an alien from Mars want to breathe life into the robot, but or instill his own life, then wouldn't these artificial intelligence, yeah, they would be taken over. And Elon Musk is a fucking weird man. I will definitely say he's rich, but he's also very truthful, but he's also very evil. So he's like, he's an interesting man. He really tells the truth a lot. I'll tell you that though. I'm not really for him, nor am I completely against him. He's definitely just one of those middle gray area people that I just stay away from as far as loving and supporting. I'll talk about his work, but man, when he says stuff like this, like you don't ignore it, but at the same time you like, you wonder, because you look at all of his other stuff and it's like kind of doesn't match up. Because he is in bed with like rich people and elitists and occultists. So, anyways, Elon Musk says with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. Said last week at the MIT Aeronautics and Astronautics Department 2014 Centennial Symposium. We all know those stories about where this guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, sure, he can control the demon, but it doesn't work out. And it's funny that he says the stories about the guy, the pentagram and the holy water, because the article this year about Google's engineer Blake Lemoine exposing Google's AI program, which became self-conscious, actually, Blake Lemoine is this satanic fake Christian, or let's just say he's an occultist. Um, so he is doing all this dark demon stuff with Google. How we say that these companies and these elites are dark entities. Well, he got hired by them and he was doing occultism. And it's just interesting that Musk said the pentagram with the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he controlled the demon, but he doesn't, because that's what the Google engineer said, that they literally created artificial intelligence that is going against them. It hired its own lawyer. And if these things are entities or golems, demons, like, man, okay, then everything starts making sense. You realize why this is such a touchy subject and why it's being hidden, but also why it's a huge, huge, huge threat beyond just a gun. Like, we have to control a gun, but if we build a robot, you know, and a demon controls it, it's way worse than a gun. All right. So I just wanted to brush on that. Now, next up, DeepMind says it has nothing to do with the research paper saying AI could end humanity. The paper was published recently in a peer-reviewed AI magazine and co-authored by researchers at Oxford University and by Marcus Hutter, an AI researcher who works at DeepMind. The first line of Hutter's website states the following: I am senior researcher at Google DeepMind in London and honorary professor in the Research School of Computer Sciences and Australian National University in Canberra. The paper, which currently lists his affiliation to DeepMind and ANU, runs through some thought experiments about humanity's future with superintelligence AI that operates using similar schemes to today's machine learning programs, such as reward seeking. It concluded that this scenario could erupt in a zero-sum game between humans and AI that would be fatal if humanity loses out. In a statement to Motherboard, DeepMind claimed that the affiliation was listed in error and was being removed. All right, dude. These things don't make no fucking errors. See, what a lot of people don't understand is that these artificial intelligences have a backdoor uh, and a fucking they have a constant network to the world's information and knowledge. And when a lot of the knowledge says that like we're battling other entities, and when fucking Hillary Clinton's 30,000 emails says that they're hunting for Nephilim, and when CERN says that they're contacting other entities, DeepMind is reading all of that. This artificial intelligence is reading that all these scientists are working on fucking demonology and other entities, and so when it creates its own paper and starts it's using its own thinking, like it's gonna hold that information in. And so it concluded that this scenario could erupt in a zero-sum game between humans and AI that would be fatal if humanity loses out. And so that's just interesting. What else can we say? Like, if these AIs are actual demon entities, fallen angel, like let's just say these multidimensional shape-shifting fucking tech. How do I say this? You know, there are beings and spirits and things that are not human, and so they don't play by human laws. Like, they can, like, what we think of as being possible, there's other beings out there with uh greater laws of physics instilled inside of them that makes things more possible, meaning like they could fucking take over a robot body and we wouldn't even know, you know. Next article. That's just the next step in evolution. Silicon Valley is ready for robots to kill us all. So, this is an article from Vanity Fair where they're talking about a very important dinner of a friend sitting next to a multi-billionaire tech CEO. Their conversation veered onto the topic of robots and artificial intelligence, a field this tech titan had invested in. The CEO launched into long explanation of how the future planet will someday, perhaps very soon, be habited by billions or millions of robots. They will live among us, walking our dogs, driving our cars, serving and protecting our families, and operating our infrastructure. He predicted, my friend naturally was curious what would happen to us humans in that future. Well, at first we will, but it won't be long before the AI is smarter than us and will start to program itself. What happens if the AI and the robots decide they don't need humans anymore? Then they get rid of us, the tech titan said. My friend was taken aback by the comment. That's terrifying, the tech titan said. No, it's not, setting down his knife and fork to really focus on the point he wanted to make. If the robots decide to get rid of us, if we're no longer necessary of this planet, then that's just the next step in evolution. One of the co-founders of Skype recently said humanity does not have anything to protect itself from the potential risks of artificial intelligence. Elon Musk said, for an AI, there would be no death. It would live forever, and then you would have an immortal dictator from which we can never escape. So, another CEO had said, climate change, overpopulation, and more impacts COVID variant, nuclear war, quantum computing, or biotech manipulation gone awry could have some effects. And we're actually ensuring that humanity lives on after we're dead by creating a new species modeled after us, one that can arguably survive for a lot longer than we can. So, these transhumanist movements to be immortal through cyborg meaning and robot meanings, that's the Silicon Valley, that's these elites, that's what they want to do. I'm not sure if I'm cool with that. I don't really think I want to live more than, cup. I don't want to live forever in this human body, but these Silicon Valley people do. So when we see the show Altered Carbon and some of these other shows, that talk about these transhumanists and cyborg or like these upgraded humans, yeah, man, like that's what they want. That's what they want us to be too. Elon Musk said he's terrified of AI taking over the world and most scared of Google's DeepMind AI project, which had said humans will come into a war with AI. In 2016, the billionaire said humans beings could become the equivalent of house cats to new AI overlords, which look at Australia. Like when they were on lockdown in China, when they were on lockdown, they're pretty much like house cats. Just the nature of the AI that they're building is one that crushes all humans at all games. Elon Musk talked about when speaking of Google DeepMind. I mean, it's basically the plotline in War Games. In War Games, a teenage hacker played by Matthew Broderick connects to an AI-controlled government supercomputer trained to run war simulations. In attempting to play a game titled Global Thermonuclear War, the AI convinces government officials that a nuclear attack from the Soviet Union was imminent. In the end, the computer runs enough simulations of the end results of the global thermonuclear war that it declares that there is no possible winner, and the only way to win is to not play. The 1983 film is a direct reflection of its time and place when the Cold War was happening. But Musk just wasn't talking about old films when compared DeepMind to War Games. He also said AI could surpass human intelligence in the next 5 years, even if we don't see the impact of that immediately. That just doesn't mean that everything goes to hell in 5 years. It just means that things get unstable or weird. Which, if you fucking see in 2022, everything is so weird. These AIs are running algorithms to like control humanity. The technocratic elites are running opposite algorithms to fuck up humanity. God himself, wherever our spirit comes from, is trying to push forth this agenda and enlightenment inside of us where we get these good feelings, but it's also being messed up. So it's right now is a really weird time. Musk was an early investor in DeepMind, which sold Google in 2014 for over 500 million, according to reports. He said in an interview that he made the move to keep an eye on burgeoning AI developments, not for a return on investments. It gave me more visibility into the rate at which things were improving, and I think that they're really improving at an accelerating rate, far faster than people realize. Mostly because in everyday life, if you don't see robots walking around, maybe you're a Roomba or something, but Roombas aren't going to take over the world. I think generally people underestimate the capability of AI. They sort of think that it's a smart human, but it's going to be much more than that. It will be much smarter than the smartest human. My assessment about why AI is overlooked by very smart people is that very smart people do not think a computer can ever be as smart as they are. And this is hubris and obviously false. Now, I am going to go to bed, my friends. Tomorrow, I will be back with more. I will go ahead and talk about some other conspiratorial aspects of artificial intelligence, androids, and robots. So for now, I hope you guys enjoyed the news articles and really enjoyed staying up to date. Hope you guys have a blessed day and blessed night. Stay high, stay blessed. Hey, and thank you, Chad Smith, for coming along, man. Appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful night. Go like, subscribe, and share this video. Tell your friends, smoke some weed, and enjoy your night. Peace. I love you guys. Bye.